just waiting for Carolyn.
Well, Ron, you know women.
Yeah, I like to think I do. On a beer? It's 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
All right, well, welcome back. It's at the time of recording, it's 12:12 on Saturday, I guess, afternoon. It's the NYND podcast. It's the show. Notre Dame going to the Natty, boys. After week 2, sitting in an Italian restaurant with Caitlin's family for Kevin's birthday, sulking in the corner, did not want to be there, staring at a wall, watching the updates come in from Northern Illinois. I did not think this was possible.
Yeah, I agree. I was playing golf that day, and
I mean, the lowest of lows.
Because it's the third or second catastrophic loss in 3 years.
Yeah, you could say the third. That loss to Stanford that same year when we lost to Marshall. Cam, do you remember we were coming back from the golf outing with our uncles when we lost to Marshall? You and I were stuck in traffic on the LIE.
Yeah, and you were pissed.
We didn't say a word to each other.
You were so mad. You're like, screw it. Get rid of the academics. I'm sick of this shit.
Yeah, we'll lose to Marshall. I'm usually not. I'm usually pretty even keeled with that kind of stuff. But yeah, I lost.
I mean, listen, Marcus Freeman's doing great, but that is a horrible
loss. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. 3 horrible losses. But you know what the team does? They rattle off 12 wins in a row. And before last week, all 11 of them were double-digit wins. Or before Thursday, every win was a double, including Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It's well, Ryan Day was saying it last night in his post game. It's not like you're going to get handed a bad loss like that every now and then, and it's all about how you respond. It happened to Ohio State, and it happened to us with Northern Illinois. So it kind of makes sense that we're meeting each other in the national championship. But there's no taking away from that loss. That was a earth-shattering loss, and everyone was freaking out, as they should. But I don't know. The guys seem to rally after it. So
sometimes, and you know what? I can even say this with like wrestling, and like sometimes you have to have something like that. You have to hit rock bottom before you make a change.
You need a wake-up call.
Yeah, wake-up call. And I don't know. This team has clear holes. There's limitations on offense. I think we all see it. I mean, we're rotating freaking sisters of the poor on the offensive line. But this team plays their freaking heart out. It oozes. I mean, you can see it. It's like usually that's an intangible thing, but I really feel like, and this is a testament to Freeman and the staff, this team is bought the F in. There's a real like tangible culture there, and it's a masterclass, man. This guy needs his props, and every time there's a microphone in front of his face, he says the perfect thing, where it's like you can see why the kids love him, why they play so hard for him. I think you can see why parents, when he's in their living room trying to get their kid to come on campus, they trust him. And I don't know. I mean, I'm still on cloud 9. This is freaking awesome. And there's been so many times where I've been waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's like this season's been great. We've gone to a couple of games, and I've been waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, okay, when's reality going to hit? I thought it was going to be Georgia. I thought with Penn State, I was literally thinking, what am I going to say on here when we lose? And, I mean, what a freaking game. They pull it out. Mitch Jeter with ice in his veins. And we're going with the Natty.
I thought we did. It was weird. Like this team just has an energy about them where I thought we did nothing exceptionally well against Penn State. We didn't throw the ball well at all. We ran the ball okay.
In the second half, yeah.
I don't like. They just find a way to make plays when it needs to happen. And credit to Riley too. I thought he played a horrible first half. We were zero threat throwing the ball, and then Angeli comes in. Everyone's like, okay, the offense moved. Do we think about keeping this guy in because it's our first sign of life? And then Riley comes out in the second half and tears it up, absolutely tears it up.
Yeah.
I don't know what Freeman said at halftime, but this team has a life about them. And like you were saying before, they would die for this guy.
Yeah.
Die for him, and you see that.
Yeah. And you know what I love? I was telling Dad about this too. I really think after that Northern Illinois loss, like he's like, you know what? screw it. I'm going to be me. I'm going to be the guy that I was when I was playing middle linebacker at Ohio State, the guy that went to the NFL. Like, I'm just going to, enough of the red tape. Like, I think there's a Notre Dame way of doing things. Not that it's the wrong way, but it's almost like you can be too much of a politician. Just go coach football, man. And, like, just say screw it. I really think he kind of cut loose. And, his job's on the line at that point. Like, enough, like, tap dancing around what I think I should be doing as a coach and, like, trying not to be too adamant like Brian Kelly, red face on the sidelines and getting yelled at by Notre Dame, cursing at everybody. Let me just go coach the best way I know how. And here we are. We're in the national championship. And, that offense in the first half, I mean, Penn State, let's be honest, they were kicking our ass up and down the field. And they were attacking the edges on the defense. And I wonder if it's because, I mean, we're rotating. We have like third string guys playing on a defensive end with Boubacar Traore getting hurt and Jordan Patello getting hurt. And maybe they thought, okay, maybe we can stretch them out and attack the edge and make like their linebackers try and like chase us down in space. And it was working. We had no answers up and down the field.
As I watched the game, it was clear they had better football players than we did. They just did.
Yeah.
Right? We don't have an Abdul Carter.
Like
We don't have anything like that. And like you said, that's a testament to coaching. They had better players. I don't even think it was close, which I was kind of shocked by because I didn't realize the talent differential between those two teams was that big. But like Kieran, the defensive end, when he made that interception, nobody on Notre Dame does that.
They're all like perfect human specimens. They're all like 6'6" and like skinny.
Drops back into coverage, full extension. We don't got a guy at defense.
No, that was I didn't think they were that much more physical and athletic than we are, but they were.
Yeah, and you know what? We were talking about against Georgia, like when we were singing Notre Dame's praises of like when Riley or Jadarian Price would get to the edge, we would beat them to the sideline and get upfield for like 8 yards. And I hadn't seen that before from Notre Dame, like ever. And then there were a couple of times where like Riley tried to like, quarterback counter off tackle or whatever. And like, okay, he's got some room. No, he doesn't. Chase down for a 2-yard loss. Like we couldn't get any separation. It's like, oh, okay, this is different, man.
Like Riley would multiple times would be scrambling, and there's a Penn State defensive lineman step by step. So not only is he bigger and stronger than you, he's just as fast as you. So Riley was freaking out. Yeah,
but you know what? Down 10-0. A couple of interceptions were taken off the board too. I think that first drive, the first time Penn State was in the red zone, we made a stop. We had a pick. They called it back.
Mm-hmm.
Pass interference. And then we stopped. We forced a field goal. Huge.
But that first pass interference, I forget which corner, he got shook out of his cleats.
Yeah, you know what, though? He came back and he won the game, too.
I know, but that was like he needed to do that in order to even get the pick. So, like, I'm not upset about that call.
So you force a field goal. I thought we had a couple of – Riley made some throws, that back shoulder to Mitch Evans. I liked how we got Evans – we got him going early. And I think that was like, hey, we have a tight end too. We're going to get this guy going. But, yeah, we were flat. Penn State was leaning on us. But you look at it's 10-0. And I was actually thinking we get the ball with like maybe 2 minutes left. We just go to the locker room down 10-0. I don't want any turnovers. 17-0 seemed like insurmountable.
Yeah.
But Angeli comes in. And you know what? I think they simplified the offense for him, and they marched right down the field. And I think they, coming out of halftime, they simplified it again for Riley. Like we ran the football right at him in the second half. I called Dad at halftime. I'm like, a pass rush like this isn't the recipe to beat something like that, just to run right at them. So like they can't just pin their ears back and come every play.
It's also like we should have the counter for a good pass rush or send in the house, you got to screen them to death. So that was an ounce of hesitation. And I don't know. We didn't screen them as much as I would have liked.
We never really got to that. You're right. But we did run right at them. And then, so two offensive linemen go down in this game, as if like we needed that. We're already slim pickings. This guy, Tosh Baker, comes in and he's lined up against Abu Carter. And he had the game of his life. The game of his freaking life. There were a couple of times, he's holding on to him for dear life, and they're not calling it. But this guy comes in and has the game of his freaking life, and props to him. And the offense comes alive. We're throwing the ball a lot more, Cam, I thought. And Jaden Greathouse maybe coming alive at the right time.
It's nice to have one receiver. Now, granted,
He's on key, though.
I don't think he makes Ohio State's roster, to be honest with you. But for us, he's good. He had a good game, and we haven't seen that all year.
Look at his offers. I think you'll be surprised.
He's a 4-star. I have, but he's not starting on Ohio State.
I think Tyler Warren, though. I knew he was good.
Oh my God!
But he is next level. Going to be he's George Kittle. He's every bit of George Kittle. He blocks, and he is a stud in the passing game. We could not stop him. We're double covering him at the end of the game wherever he went, which I thought
he was playing quarterback.
But this was a tight end running read options in the backfield.
He reminds me of Gronk because of the size. He reminds me of Gronk.
There was one play where he was playing quarterback and he kind of runs off to the left, and one of our I don't know if it was Jalen Snead or Ellsbury, tracks him down. Like, okay, here comes like a 5-yard loss. Stiff arm to the dome.
Turns it into a positive game. Yeah, that was huge. I was like, that was killing.
Can you imagine being the defender? Like, I'm just getting whipped right.
Did you notice how, to that same point, we could not – it took 4 guys to tackle Drew Aller. We could not tackle Drew Aller one-on-one.
He's big, man. I think he's like 6'5".
I know, but it was like, can someone just – he's a quarterback. Someone tackle him. Like, you have 5 guys gang tackling him. He's a quarterback.
I know. Listen, fly the ball.
I guess, but like, I don't know.
But, I mean, that second half, man, it's a shame somebody had to lose that game. That was a great football game, man.
Talk about a roller coaster of emotions. There were so many times where we were dead. We were just dead. I thought we weren't going to win, and then we'd have a random play happen, and we're back into it, and then it was just back and forth. Amazing game.
I think to Kieran's point, there's nothing exceptional about us. We don't have a Jeremiah Smith. We don't have a Reggie Bush. We don't have we don't have anyone like that. We just don't. We're winning, and I don't know why, but I love it.
It's culture, and so I would push back a little bit. We have some dogs, guys.
Who?
We do.
At that level, though,
I don't.
Jeremiah Love, fine.
Jeremiah Love, Mitchell Evans, Riley freaking Leonard. I think who's that defensive end, number 30? He's a true freshman, the guy that's blocking all the kicks. Snead's a linebacker. Ellsbury's a monster. Xavier Watts is a stud. Christian Gray is a freaking stud. That guy's a field corner, and he's on an island every single play, and everyone kills him. And then what does he do? He seals the game against USC. He seals the game against Texas A&M. He seals the game. He seals the game against Penn State. The other corner, number 15, I don't know why I can't find any of these names, but he's a stud. Another true freaking freshman, I think.
But there's nobody that anyone else is scheming for. Like, you have to scheme for Jeremiah Smith. You have to scheme for Abdul Carter. You're not scheming for –
you have to scheme for Tyler Warren. Like,
exactly.
You have anybody like that.
Yeah. Besides Love.
Jeremiah Love needs a game plan. But
I know what's big too, guys.
Hold on. Did you see pregame the coaches tell Jeremiah Love no jumping over people?
I know.
And then he does it behind the line of scrimmage for no reason, just for shits and giggles.
Over a line that run he had where he took on 3 guys on the goal line. It's a bad man.
He is a stud.
He's so good. And we have next year too. He's gonna win the Heisman next year.
Oh, he's coming back?
Oh, he's coming back.
What about Jadarian Price?
He's coming back too.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
It's a two backfield kind of league now, so we can find a way to make them both.
If you know what, after what we've seen with injuries and they're playing an NFL schedule, it's 17 games pretty much. For no one to transfer out after Northern Illinois and for us to play all these depth pieces now, they're coming in and they're making plays, they're playing real minutes and meaningful games, and we're freaking winning. And now we got big, bad Ohio State, the most unbeatable team in college football, waiting in the sights. And if you Jeremiah Love in post game, a lot of the Notre Dame players, Xavier Watts too, they're like, we want Ohio State, we want them. We want them. It's still personal after last year. If you can't call yourself the best team in the country unless you beat the best team in the country, and that's Ohio State.
Yeah.
What competitor doesn't want to beat the best? You don't want an asterisk. If we play Texas, I don't want an asterisk next to it. Yeah, but the real national championship was Ohio State versus Texas in the semis. Bullshit. Bring the best. And with that, I'll bring Colin in to talk about his Buckeyes. Colin, baby.
He's driving.
Oh, wait.
Oh, God. Wait, for the record, we don't condone driving and FaceTime.
Yeah. Are you in a parking lot? Where are you?
Yes.
I'm a passenger. My limousine driver is actually driving.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah.
Ah, jeez.
Us Buckeyes fans, we get royalty treatment. I got a limo driver, boys. I'm not driving. I swear to God.
All right.
Hey,
What'd you think about the game,
boys?
Kyle?
How about those Buckeyes? I mean, listen, to beat Texas in the semifinals by 2 touchdowns, now that might be the best win in 25 years.
I'm not even gonna go there, pal. I'm not even gonna go there.
That's a little nod to the pregame prep that we did yesterday.
Well, it wasn't
Bubba
2
Franks
touchdowns.
thinking
It
that
was one-
Oregon's win was the best win in 25 years. Listen, Notre Dame is a good team, but you guys are going to get fucking butt spanked. You're getting spanked. We're going to bend you over our knee, and we're going to fucking give you lashes. Jack Sawyer is going to he's going to butt spank Riley Leonard. Riley Leonard's a good quarterback, kind of. He's a good running back. I mean, listen, Ohio State's going to move the ball on you. Our offensive line is going to beat you in the trenches. I don't really know. I mean, listen, you guys got big guys
trenches.
too. But we got a team. We got a team.
What's the game plan when Howard when Howard lays an absolute egg because the guy stinks?
Yeah, play man defense and just get a couple of kicks.
He stinks. Listen,
This is chaos.
We'll trim it.
Oh my God. I knew this was gonna happen.
stinks.
He's going on a rant. We can't hear him.
Kyle, you're breaking up a little bit. I'll let you back in when you get somewhere that you're not freezing every 2 seconds.
This is bullshit.
Yeah. But listen, Ohio State, man. We play man defense and we rush the quarterback. We have cornerbacks that are long and can make plays. I don't think Howard's freaking Peyton Manning. You know what? And I don't think they've played a defense with as good of corners that we have. Let's see, man. Let's go play football. The game's not played on paper. It's between the lines, on the grass,
In the trenches. I hate when people say that.
And guys, 10 days. Let's see if Love can heal up a little bit. I mean, we don't need to win 42-38. I'll win 10-7.
Yeah.
Which is how the last game went. The last time we played them, it was
At this point, yeah. And that's also a thing. It's a little personal for Caitlin and I at this point. They ruined what would have been an absolute. I told her, honey, that could have been better than our wedding day. We could have rushed the field for Ohio State.
Yeah. The thing with Ohio State,
She would talk me the entire plane ride home after that.
They're going to win and lose on Howard, and I think he's game planable. We can figure him out. The only problem is the receivers. But Texas did a good job of blocking him.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so Jeremiah Smith, they had a Jeremiah Smith last year too, and we did fine against him. So Marvin Harrison Jr., I don't know, is Jeremiah Smith better than him? I don't necessarily think so. He was
Maserati Marv.
He was the most highly touted receiving prospect they've had in how long? So
listen, man, you can't. They're going to get theirs. You know, you're not going to shut them down.
Ohio State's deep. Not only do they have Smith, though, they have Ibuka, who's very good as well. So it's
Chip Kelly, getting the tight end in space, and the
I was
running
going
back.
to say last night was a tip of the cap to Chip Kelly because the whole world's trying to think about how Jeremiah Smith's going to go off. Texas figures it out, shuts him down. Ohio State still figured it out. So I thought having a pro offensive coordinator in that situation was huge for them because he was scheming left and right. I thought that design run with Howard, even though he fell like an idiot, was brilliant because nobody.
Can you imagine if he turns it over after not scoring?
Oh, it was Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones. Yeah. Oh God. Just got too excited.
So,
but before the season started, a lot of Josh Pate on the college football show and a lot of other college football YouTube podcasts were saying that these two staffs are the best in college football this year. Al Golden, Denbrock. I think what Denbrock's been able to do with the offense, despite Riley not necessarily being an absolute slice and dice passer and having the entire offensive line rotating because of injuries. I think what he's been able to do to get us here has been awesome. And then you have Chip Kelly and Jim Knowles from Ohio State, and Ryan Day. And I do think, the storylines for this game are just going to write themselves. The ratings for this game they're going to be off the charts. Ohio State, former Buckeye. If we beat them, is Ryan Day looking across the field at his potential replacement, and does that get in his head? Kind of like Lou Holtz got in his head last year.
Well, didn't Freeman just sign a contract?
He did. But no, after the Michigan game, a lot of Ohio State guys were like, I want Freeman. Let's go get him. You know?
Yeah.
I want Lou Holtz. I don't know if he's in a wheelchair. I don't know what, but I want him on the sideline, just
Get him out there for the coin toss and just angle him so he's just facing Ryan Day.
Yeah. They're going to wheel him out like Hannibal Lecter.
He's probably got no idea what's going on, but I want him.
Playing the Sicario music as he comes out of the tunnel.
Yeah, just put him in the corner on the sideline, just staring at Ryan Day the whole game.
Weekend at Bernie's.
The coin toss.
And then the best part is we got like 10 days to really I'll be watching that Penn State game. I already watched the highlights like a gazillion times, but I'll be just
I want to ask your opinion. So that Drew Aller pick, obviously the result of it's like, why did you do that? What happened?
Yeah.
So do you think Franklin's smart in being aggressive and it was just a bad decision, bad luck? Or do you think they should kneel it out and play for overtime?
I mean, I don't know, man. I'd rather be aggressive. There's 39 seconds and you have one or two timeouts left.
Yeah. And they're moving the ball.
If you get to the 40-yard line and you kick a last-second field goal, and if you missed it, you go to overtime.
I think I'm going to respectfully disagree because they didn't complete one pass to one receiver the entire football game.
Yeah, not one.
That literally not a single pass. So what reason do you have to think he's going to do it then?
And they ran the ball on first down, so they clearly were like, let's just hand it off, see what we get.
Dude, did you guys pick up on the clock? The clock management?
Oh, so annoying.
I feel like every time there was something, 5 more seconds would be
please reset the game clock to 42 seconds.
And when did this become a thing of the ref sort of injecting himself behind the center so they can't snap the ball? Like, I know it's when they sub, but I've never seen it as much as they do it now. Like, he stops play until –
It was the same crew as the Georgia game. And, Kieran, I thought you were asking about the pass interference, but I was going to say like that. The Drew Aller pick that was thrown into triple coverage, it was underthrown, and Kaiser picks it off. Total bullshit penalty, in my opinion.
Agreed.
It was.
I wonder if they saw the Georgia game. Every time, the only way Georgia got a first down against us was a freaking flag.
My only thing, I didn't agree with the penalty. It's a stupid reason to throw it. It's a bailout call.
Yeah.
My only argument against it is he didn't turn around. He just ran face into the guy and put his hands up. But it wasn't catchable, so it shouldn't matter. I agree. But Notre Dame, I don't know who did it. I forget the guy. But help yourself out and turn and look. You know, it's
one of these.
Yeah, and it's. I get it, but I don't know.
It is so scary when you're behind somebody. You're slower if you're turned around. You cannot catch up to them. So everyone says that, turn your head. It is so hard to do.
Yeah, no, I know.
And not to mention, you're allowed to face him so long as you don't interfere with his ability to catch the ball. I
was going to say that, Cam. I was watching something. It was like everyone has this preconceived notion that you have to turn your head.
You can't interfere with him, but you can
make contact. Yeah.
Can you block his face mask with your hand?
You can face guard. Yeah.
You can turn and go like that, but you can't make contact. Like he literally just buried his head in his chest and put his arms up. Like that's.
It really just seems like every time there's a pass downfield, if it's incomplete, it's a flag.
Oh, I expect a flag with every single pass.
It does feel like because we play so much man defense. And let's be honest, it's like the offensive line. You can call a hold on the offensive line every play.
Yeah.
The wide receivers pushing off a little bit every play, the defenders holding on a little bit every play. And because we play so much man, it's like someone's going to tell these refs, hey, listen, we play man defense. You don't need to throw a flag every freaking play.
And it feels like it's always thrown after the sideline reacts. I feel like they always wait for a little reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Matt Rempe in hockey. Every time the guy hits someone, it's a power play.
Yeah, let the boys play.
That's why I was so hesitant on the last pick when Gray picked it off. I was like, there's going to be a flag. There has to be something.
I was waiting for it too.
But it was such a stupid throw by Aller. And then in the press conference, he's saying, I meant to dart it at his feet. No, you didn't. You made a bad throw, man up and accept it. You made it.
I don't think I'm not the biggest.
I think
you have timeouts. Taking a sack, sure, that's the worst thing you do, or throw it away. I don't understand the gamble cross field to your third option It was just so stupid. And
I think Aller played really bad. Like he played a really bad game, but there is a difference between playing bad and being the reason you lost. Like a lot of his mistakes were deleted and then they then scored. So did he play poorly? Yes, but did he affect them negatively? Not as much as people think, because everything got deleted.
Yeah, it was just that one play at the end. Because I thought he, like you said, he kind of managed the game.
He aims the ball when he throws. You guys notice that? He doesn't talk about. It's like he's playing cornhole when he throws the ball. I can't explain it. It looks like he's like aiming.
He's got a strong arm though. Like,
yeah, he's a 5-star recruit. Listen, if you could design a quarterback in a lab, it would be him.
Yeah. A lot of people were saying if he came in, to the game and played his ass off, he would declare for the NFL draft and probably be the highest touted quarterback. Because I guess people aren't super high on Cam Ward and Shador.
This draft is just very average to me.
No quarterbacks. Yeah, it's a good running back draft, I'll say.
Great linebacker draft. Great linebacker.
Your point earlier about like the rosters and the talent on the rosters, this and that.
The rosters?
I say roster.
The rosters.
Roster.
Roster.
How do you say drawer?
Drawer. It's not draw.
How do you say crayon?
Crayon.
I say crayon.
Oh.
Is it roof or rough?
Nobody says rough. Nobody says
We went to a comedy show last night. The guy was saying rough, and I was cackling. I was the only guy laughing.
Talking about a roof? I've never heard that.
Yeah, rough. Yeah.
It's just incorrect.
Cat, at what point, like in the NFL, they don't say, oh, this team has, 15 first-round picks on their team, just more talented. At what point is like, hey, like these are just two good teams. I don't give a shit about the star rating after, we have 4 stars and a couple of 5 stars sprinkled on.
We're heavily talented. Like having a lot of 4 stars is impressive.
Like at what point is it just, hey, we're playing football and like whoever executes better is going to win. Like I get if you're playing Boise State, there's a clear talent differential. But Ohio State, man, like the last 2 years we played them tooth and nail. Should have won last year. Year before that, despite a double safety blitz, it's 21-10 to take that score off the board, 14-10, and like let's play ball. I'm not scared of them.
I agree. I think there's a bigger difference between a group of 5 team and an average Power 5 team like Virginia Tech than there is an average Power 5 team and an Ohio State. I think that gap is smaller than Wyoming versus Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
I think the star argument goes out the window. Not out the window, obviously it matters, but when you're a team like Notre Dame and you're so well coached and you're so disciplined and you're brought into the program the right way, it's not just about your talent and your stars. Yeah. We're a well coached, well executed team. We're disciplined. That goes a long way later in the year. So,
and you know what, too? Not one player. I mean, obviously we're making a national championship run. It's a little different. Not one player on Notre Dame's roster has declared for the transfer portal.
Why would you?
Yeah, people don't leave Notre Dame.
Yeah,
like if you're coming here, like we went there, but if you go to Notre Dame, like there is a certain mental fortitude, toughness you have to have. Like you're not going to Notre Dame you want to go to the league, sure, and that's probably a huge part of like the recruiting pitch. But Ohio State, Georgia, like some of these other schools, you go there for 2 years and you go to the NFL. So if you're going to Notre Dame, you're going there probably for a college degree and raising young men, fathers, husbands, that kind of thing. And I think that's why I do think now, I think like the national Notre Dame's like they're like a little darling right now. Everyone's starting to pay attention to Notre Dame. I thought ESPN did a great job covering like the post game and like honestly fawning over Freeman and like what Notre Dame's all about. And like
I think Ryan Clark's son being there helps because he's a big Notre Dame proponent. I mean, I was watching First Take and I saw that moron. I was watching that moron Cam Newton who just can't get enough attention.
And he has that smile, like, dude, you played football for a living. You're not going to blow me away with your,
Just dress normally. Like, just dress normally. Stop begging for attention. But so prepare for this because it's going to be the latest Notre Dame excuse. He was like, Stephen A. Smith said, what if they won the national championship? Would you give them props?
Yeah.
Would you give them props then? And he goes, no, because they didn't join a conference. So they beat Georgia. They beat Penn State. They beat Indiana. They hypothetically beat Ohio State. And it still doesn't pass Cam Newton's test.
Yeah, exactly. Because people give a shit about his test.
He's such a moron, that guy.
Oh, God.
This is the guy who wouldn't fall on the fumble in the Super Bowl.
I know. It's like, and Ryan Clark was great. He responded. He goes, "It's so hard," because this was the morning after we beat Penn State.
He has like the marriage reference. It was hilarious.
He was like, sometimes it's so hard for people to just say they were wrong.
Yeah.
Like, we beat Georgia, we beat Penn State. Cam, just say you were wrong. Just say it. Like, we're a good team.
Is
Yeah.
Ryan
He
Clark?
has that smile. He's like,
Does Ryan Clark have a kid on Notre Dame? Is that cornerback related to him?
yeah, it's his son.
Okay, because he made a great play, and I was like, I didn't know if that was his kid.
He was at Arizona State last year.
What Notre Dame has done in the transfer portal has been awesome. Like,
I know.
we major in recruiting, but we supplement with the transfer portal. And it's been a masterclass, I think, the last 2 years. Especially like the defensive back, we're bringing in some good pieces.
That being said, I'm done with the transfer portal quarterback, especially because we kind of got to see, Angeli, a guy we recruited, a guy we brought in.
Ice in his veins, man. Ice in his veins.
He was pretty good.
Yeah.
So, like, he gave us a spark that we desperately needed, and those 3 points, I get it's not a lot, won us that game.
He could start for Rutgers. He could start for Illinois, a Syracuse.
Yeah.
He stays on the team, man. Like,
I love it.
What's going on with
Riley Leonard could not have been more complimentary towards him in his post-game remarks.
Yeah.
Well,
Talk about great post-game speeches. Riley Leonard.
Across the board, man. Freeman, they tried doing the whole race card woke shit, and he just dismantles it.
No, but ESPN, you're so right. They fed him. They wanted him to take the bait.
And he's like, I'm not going there. You root for good people, whatever race, color, or creed. And that's what he said.
The next morning on ESPN, they're like, let's watch what Marcus Freeman said last night. I'm like, they're going to show it. They're going to show it. No, all they showed was him saying they're a bunch of savages. Like, they literally took out the good part and put in the part that's probably a little ambiguous,
Oh, God. It's like
I'm so sick of ESPN.
I wish ESPN, or if there's ever a college football committee, because ESPN owns the college football playoffs, so they have all the control. I wish it was like the NFL, where you sell the rights to a playoff game to NBC and Fox. Get Joe Klatt and Gus on a playoff game. Get some different perspectives, so it's not just the ESPN Disney woke machine feeding us narratives through football all the time.
And it's to kind of go off that the ESPN called the game last night, and Kirk Herbstreit was calling it. And I thought what he did at the end of that game
yours? That was bullshit.
That was the most unprofessional. I couldn't
believe it.
I missed it. Someone filled me in.
So obviously Texas gets to the 1 yard line and they don't score, and it turns into eventually Jack Sawyer strip sack touchdown. But after all of it happens, Kirk Herbstreit goes, maybe you put in Arch there. Maybe that doesn't happen.
Oh, God.
And I'm just like, Quinn Ewers just had a great game. You're on the 1 yard line. Nobody sees this coming, and you're like, maybe if they had Arch and that wouldn't happen. What do you like?
That's ridiculous. No class.
No class.
Yeah, I mean, if Quentin Ewers was my son, I'd want to kick his ass.
Yeah.
I mean,
are you kidding me? That was an all-time classic, a lot closer than the score indicated because it was a fumble,
Well, let me ask you guys this. What game was a better game?
Oh, Thursday night, 100%. No argument.
Yeah. And a lot of people thought the higher scoring game was going to be last night's game.
Yeah. Well, I forget what the over-under was, but I'd say our second half was better. Our first half was kind of like I said, it was boring. Nothing was happening.
I was getting ready to talk about Notre Dame losing. I was like, wow, this is over.
I was like,
a blowout there is like,
But it wasn't going to be a blowout. It wasn't. It was 10-0. Neither offense is really humming. It was just
they were leaning on a.
Colin's commenting in the comments. You see this?
He's driving.
Is he driving too?
Colin, are you at a stoplight?
I love that.
The freaking best. I swear he's the best. But,
has he been listening the whole time?
Yeah, he can hear us. I see him. I've been watching him drive. Cal, you done running your errands?
Guy's planning a wedding, and he's going to hop on the pod.
Is Caitlin in the car? Can you imagine?
Man, what a weekend. Job's not finished yet, as Kobe said.
Yeah.
Not finished.
What were we doing the last time in 2013? Cam, we were still living at home.
I was at Michael's.
I was home, and it was just.
Anyways, he spinning his way through the defense.
We talk about needing 5 guys to tackle somebody. Oh my God!
It was a public execution.
That is one of the best college teams I think
Oh,
I've
God.
seen. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I'm
So
convinced every single player on that roster was at least 6'5".
Well, I think that's the record for most first-round draft picks. I think they had like 6 first-round
That
draft
or maybe like some of the Miami teams back in the
Well,
day.
I mean, for Alabama, I mean.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard when Manti Te'o talks about his perspective when they walked?
He's really open about it. Yeah. He's
No,
like,
what'd he
when
say?
they got out of the tunnel,
When they walked out, he was I forget exactly what he said, but it was basically like, holy shit.
this is
Like-
done. And if you watch
Can you
the
find
clip,
it?
like, what'd you say?
Can you find it? Like that clip?
Yeah, he's like when they get, because if you look, Alabama's like they're doing the crow hop. They all got the jersey hiked up with their big guts hanging out. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
And
It's either
there's
a big gut or an 8-pack.
there's a picture of Notre Dame running out.
with their little flag.
And it's just the crimson in the dark with it looks like a red army, and it was just spooky. But I don't feel that way this game. I feel like we can play with them. I don't know.
Oh God, here it is.
We can. We played with them last 2 years in a row.
I don't know what the spread is. What are we, like a 10-point
It's
underdog?
bad. It's -9.
9.5.
That's disrespectful.
I agree.
We just beat Georgia and Penn State. Penn State only lost to Ohio State at the goal line. Like they could have won that game.
Yeah, and we beat Texas.
That's
Listen, man, we're never gonna get.
I'm so sick of it.
We're never gonna get it, and like I'm here for it. Bring all the smoke, man. Keep doubting this team. Just keep doubting us.
ESPN just.
I will say that Notre Dame team is going to work like their life depends on it this week.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
they're going to be so focused.
they wanted this game, guys. I'm telling
Yeah,
you. If you
yeah.
go back and if you watch some of the post game interviews, like there's no like we did it, and I thought that was gonna be Georgia. Oh, we did it. Like rest on our laurels.
Yeah,
You know,
after Georgia, he showed them Northern Illinois tape.
yeah.
He's like, this is what happens when you get
Did
too
you
excited.
see after the Northern Illinois loss, the head coach called up Marcus and told him how he beat them, basically?
Yeah. He does it. Let me share some tape with you.
No way.
I thought that was so awesome. But props to Marcus for like swallowing his pride and
What
like
was the plan? What was the game plan? Like,
I forget.
I don't know. No one knows, but Cam, it is like this thing. It's like, what the hell did that coach tell Marcus?
Yeah.
'Cause we haven't lost a game since.
But-
We have not. Get a load of this. We have not trailed
and I'll tell you this.
in the game
Since Penn State.
until Penn State. We have
Yeah.
not trailed in a game.
Yeah.
I got the Bama BCS.
Oh, yeah. Throw it up. Oh.
Alabama Crimson Tide from
Oh
Tuscaloosa
my God.
by Coach Nick Saban. Saban putting together a
Those
dynasty.
were grown
That's the man doing it.
Oh,
It'll be their third
Get
championship
out there and
in
poke
4 years, and there were no
It
votes.
reminds me of Dallas Carter.
They beat Texas. They beat LSU. And now when they come out here, they'll tee it up against Notre Dame, undefeated and ranked number 1. The Tide about ready to roll out onto the stadium.
There's Blake Sims.
Here they come.
This is where Manti was like, we were all kidding.
Look at the size differential.
Well, the good news is now everybody can pay players, so you can't do that shit anymore.
Yeah, it's very refreshing now. The league's
Amazing how all of a sudden the crying and the moaning about because you guys can't have 5 deep at linebacker because you're paying them under the books.
Yeah.
You think we were doing that?
No,
I don't know. I don't follow it. I don't understand.
no. Maybe Brady Quinn got an autographed jersey with some cash, but
Apparently,
no way.
Lou Holtz broke some rules to get some of the players.
No, I'm talking about like
Oh,
paying guys. Like, they were all freaking doing it.
yeah.
And now that it's legal and every team can do it, and the talent's a little spread out, and now it comes down to coaching and culture more than like having just a bunch of Pro Bowlers on your college team. It's amazing how all of a sudden, like,
But the league's wide open. Everyone's kind of
Yeah.
just as good. But
And
it needs to get nerfed a little. It's too much right now. Players have too
It
much
is.
control.
we need guardrails.
Yeah. So
But you guys see this, and then we'll wrap it up after this because we'll, give everybody back their Saturday. Do you guys see this narrative? Like all of a sudden, like everyone has such a problem about Notre Dame fans, like not even going to Notre Dame. It's like you guys didn't even go to the school. To that, no one gives a shit about your little state school once you leave the state's borders. Notre Dame has something that people can grasp onto. It's like an excellence. It's like it's more than a college football team to us.
and that's what people don't get. I'm at a random bar in Albany, New York. I'm watching the game, and some guy just ponders up to me. He sees me going nuts for the Georgia game.
Did you even go there? He came with some random guy. Came up to you.
Middle-aged guy. I'm sitting with my friends, and he comes up. He said, "We're talking." He goes, "Like, how are you a Notre Dame fan?" And I was like, "I'm anticipating he's gonna be like, I went there." And I said, honestly, it's just like I'm an Irish Catholic. It's a culture thing. It's just how I was raised. And he goes, same for me. Like, I didn't go there.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for him to give you a problem.
No. He was like Irish Catholic. Like, it's just people don't get it. It's a culture.
It's not a geographical fandom. It's a cultural fandom. That's why it's so good. That's why it's national.
That's why it's global.
Yeah.
That's why we can sell out a game in Ireland.
Yeah.
You know? Like no one cares about your state school once you get off the interstate, pal. And you know what? To the independent thing, I'm on my soapbox. Get a load of this. To the independent, if you could be like Penn State was independent until the 90s, and then they had no money and they were forced to join a conference. If your little state school could be independent and you could bring in $14 million, Notre Dame just made $20 million because they advanced to the national title. That goes straight to us. We're not sharing that with Purdue. If you could be an independent, whoever sees you're an Ohio State fan, a Bama fan, Texas fan, if you could be an independent, you would be. But you can't be, so you're in a conference. We can because we have better lawyers than you. We can negotiate better TV deals than you, and we can advertise our brand better than you, and we can be independent.
Our brand is standalone more so than anyone else in the country, and that's why we're independent. We don't need a conference.
Again, it's bigger than football for Notre Dame fans.
It really is.
That's why a kid that goes to Villanova, a Catholic school, a kid that goes to Georgetown for another Catholic school, that's why they watch Notre Dame. Like it's different. It's why we love watching Army and Navy. We didn't go to Army and Navy, but like you love the guys, you love what they stand for.
It's the culture thing. Like the men that they breed there.
Yeah,
it's just a silly argument. Like if you're a Steelers fan, like you didn't play for the Steelers.
Yeah.
It's such a dumb argument.
You don't even live in Pittsburgh.
It's a desperate argument. It's a way.
That's how you know we're getting to them. It's how you know we're getting to them.
I'm aware of the fact I did not go to Notre Dame. I know you're not teaching me anything. I know that.
You came all the way across the bar to tell me that. Do you have a problem? We have a problem. We can settle it outside. But if you took time out of your day to come over and just insult me while I'm sitting with my wife,
Kyle says you guys are Giants fans, but you're not from Secaucus.
I'm looking at him. He's cracking up laughing at his car.
I forgot he's listening to us the whole time.
I love that he's hung out.
Hey!
There it is.
OH!
No.
Listen, you guys, you're gonna get butt spanked. I know I said it before. I'll say it again. Your takes on Kirk Herbstreit are preposterous.
No, they're not. He's lying.
We will not allow any Kirk Herbstreit slander on the pod.
He's so unlikable.
Kirk Herbstreit is an upstanding professional. Dude, he's the man. His dog just died.
Why are we bringing up? No, we're not bringing up Ben.
Yeah.
Don't bring Ben in.
Ben died, and you're out here just like, oh, fuck Herbstreit.
My dog died. I'm not bringing my dog to the office.
Show some decorum.
That was months ago.
Yeah, he's 50 years
Yeah, well, he's got a new dog, too. You guys know he's got a new dog.
Looks just like Ben, too. Yeah.
Bro,
He messes up all the game day kicks. He doesn't get out of the freaking way.
Yeah. He's a mess.
Yeah, that's the reason Matt McCusker missed the other 2 weeks ago.
But all right, fellas, good freaking pod. Kyle, we'll get you on again next week for the preview.
Yeah. You guys are scared to hear what I have to say.
No,
That's it.
No, just get a normal location.
Stop running out.
Listen, dude,
Everyone's
I got
still
a lot
watching.
going on. I'm out here making money.
Clearly driving.
Clearly driving. We hear the blinker going.
We don't support this to our viewers. We don't support it.
You hear the blinker going, and I have one question. So Colin's looking for wedding venues with his beautiful fiance.
Can you hear me again?
Colin, is Freeman in the car? Are you?
All right, this is bullshit. I can't hear you guys. I'm hanging up. OH.
Oh no.